Throughout the season, our power rankings were sponsored by Toyota, and for that, we are incredibly grateful. So we get a little pop today here from the Super Bowl. Thank you again, Toyota. And we're going to try to twist the power rankings into a power ranking of the best offensive weapons in Super Bowl 58. We did a draft earlier this week of the best defensive players when Shereen Williams was with us. Let's do a little draft as we await your good friend Steve Young to join us.
Yeah.
The best offensive weapons. He was once a pretty good offensive weapon in
He
Super Bowl
was.
29. The best weapons 29 Super Bowls later in 58.
Yeah, I think, it starts with somebody we brought up already in this show, and I think we've hit on him a few times. Is Christian McCaffrey is going to be the first guy I'm going to take, right? I think you would probably do the same thing if you had the first pick. McCaffrey, one of the best football players in the league. Great runner. We know that. So there's not only that, but then has elite route running ability. Can do things like Wes Welker and Julian Edelman as far as in the slot and being a mismatch that way. To me, he is the most intriguing pawn in this football game to see how the Chiefs defend him, especially when he's out playing wide receiver or in the pass game. I think that's what's going to really stress the Chiefs out.
Did I misunderstand the rules? Are quarterbacks off limits in this?
You know what? I thought they were.
Are they off limits?
Okay.
No quarterbacks. Well, I was wondering, what
I know.
the hell is
I don't know why I thought that too, but I thought, I don't know why. Maybe you're right. It's
this
not
is
really
the Patrick
there.
Mahomes Memorial Best Offensive Weapons Draft. Okay, and yes, Christian McCaffrey, obviously the best of the best. I got to go Travis Kelce, especially given the way he's played lately. There were some moments during the season where people were wondering with some of the drops, and is he losing his focus? And you can lose your focus. You can lose your ability to be as determined and motivated and driven and everything that you need to be when you're on a football field if you're going to Brazil during your bye week. You're allowed to. It's your bye week. But if you have other things off the field that are taking you away from your focus, you can become distracted. There's nothing distracting him now. He is determined to try to get another Super Bowl ring. He said earlier this week, his girlfriend Taylor Swift got a lot of hardware at the Grammys. He needs to bring home some hardware too.
Right.
He needs to bring another Super Bowl ring home. Number 3 for him, number 3 for Patrick Mahomes. And he, I think, will be unstoppable in this game.
Yeah, just like we talked about McCaffrey, right? Kelsey's that kind of guy for them. They're going to move him everywhere. They're going to put him in bunches. They're going to stack him behind people. And they're going to go, wait, we're creating plays for him. How far all in are you going to go to stop him? To where now you might compromise, leaving somebody else open down the field or whatever else.
I predict he's going to throw a pass in the game.
Ooh. Listen, I don't think that's a crazy prediction. You're right. With them, the way they play, they always seem to have a few trick plays for these football games. I wouldn't be crazy. And I wouldn't be shocked to see them break something out like that. We know they're certainly not scared to do that stuff.
Maybe not to Mahomes, but to somebody.
Right.
Remember there was that play where he kind of acted like he was going to throw the ball.
It was a third down. They threw a screen out to him on the left side, and there was a guy there, so he basically pulled the Mahomes, right?
Or he was thinking about action. That's the thing. It was
but I don't think he wasn't. There
or
was actually nobody downfield. I did watch that on film because I was like, wait, was he supposed to throw this, right? So I was interested in that as well.
That's the kind of thing that gives people ideas as they're in the laboratory coming up with plays.
Exactly right.
Maybe he can throw this. We saw him throw the ball across the field in the Kadarius Toney play that got wiped out because Kadarius Toney didn't line up properly. So far, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce. Who's your next one?
Yeah, the next one, this is where it gets really, really – I think this is where I'll go Deebo Samuel. Deebo to me is kind of the X factor of this football game. I say that because – as route running and playing receiver, he's not the greatest against man-to-man coverage. And we know that the Chiefs play a lot of man-to-man, and they got some guys over there that can feel comfortable and go, we're okay with them on an island against this group. But it is all the other stuff he does as well. Is he going to be returning kicks? We've seen him do that. He's dangerous at that. And then it's the reverses and the wide receiver screens, right, that really are like Shanahan's system is awesome. You're worried about system. And then they have these wrinkle plays like you're watching here on TV right now where it's like, hey, here's a system play. You've seen this play before. Oh, it's actually a trick, and we're throwing the reverse or the screen to Deebo Samuel. And that's where he is special. You see right there, that's zone coverage. When it's zone and there's space, Deebo is dangerous. When there's not as much space like the Chiefs play, and we've seen Deebo in these type of games not always like maybe perform to the level we expect because of the style of defense, I'll be interested to see what they do to get him the ball early on and get him going.
Even though it doesn't fit with the whole high-flying Chiefs passing offense. Isiah Pacheco is a critical offensive weapon in this game. We know what he can do. We know how he runs the ball, how he can set the tone, how he can get a defense backpedaling and maybe soften it up for the passing attack, or just grind the clock if you need to grind the clock. Whatever you need to do. They run the ball more than they ever have. They are willing to embrace the talents and skills of Isiah Pacheco, and he's, to me, a guy who is potentially a low-key MVP candidate. Just if he would have 130 rushing yards and a couple of touchdowns. Yeah, how do you not give it to him?
Mahomes only has 230 passing or whatever, something like that.
He's one of the guys that could end up being the MVP, so I think he could have a big game for the Chiefs, especially if the Chiefs are going to win. If they win, it's going to be in part because he's made a big contribution.
I would agree there. I mean, they're where, like, hey, years past, I'd have been like, man, I don't know. Can Andy Reid really run the ball in this game? Will he really try to stay patient with it? That's not a question anymore. I mean, I think this is the first year ever we can really go, no, Andy, he's shown he'll be patient. He'll play that style of game. He's comfortable with the game being ugly and defensive, minded that way. And that's where the Chiefs have become more dangerous. And I wouldn't be shocked that in that facet, not only have people run on the 49ers as of late, also, hey, I mean, the 49ers got a lot of offensive weapons. They got a lot of them. And, that's another way to kind of protect your defense a little bit, keeping them off the field. I could certainly see that as part of the game plan.
All right, round 3.
I'm going to go with another Niner. I'm going to go with George Kittle. We're ended up on I'm getting first pick, so I got all the Niners. Right. You got the Chiefs.
I would have taken the Chiefs anyway.
Yeah, you would have?
Maybe.
All right. So Kittle, Kittle's another X factor in this football game. Great run blocker, we know that. Maybe not as gifted as Travis Kelce in the pass game, but it's not far behind, right? And we know he can make some plays after the catch. There's a physical nature about him. He can run through arm tackles. He still has very good speed to get up the field and get an extra 15 or 20 yards. We saw that the last few weeks. So, Kittle, the run game, McCaffrey, you're worried about that. And then that's when they slide in, George Kittle right behind the linebackers on a play-action pass, and that's where the 49ers are a handful. It's that McCaffrey-Samuel-Kittle combination over the middle of the field that's very hard to stop.
I'm going to go with a guy who did not have as great of a rookie season as we thought he would, but he's come on in the postseason along with the rest of the pass catchers, Rashee Rice.
Right.
He could end up having a major impact on this game. If it's not there to Kelce or on the plays where Patrick Mahomes doesn't throw it to Kelce, Rashee Rice is a guy who has proven he can get open, he can make the catches, he can make a big play. We know Kadarius Toney is somebody they can't count on at this point.
Definitely
for whatever reason.
No.
Injury, not injured, personal reasons, not personal reasons.
It's like bad juju
doghouse,
right
not
now.
doghouse. The whole
like,
thing's bad.
I feel like they're like, just stay away because it's bad karma.
I don't think we've ever really talked about this, but I feel like it's kind of an implicit low-key suspension without calling it a suspension because they can't send him home with pay like Andy Reid once did with Terrell Owens.
Right.
So let's just get through the season, and we'll trade you, and we'll move on.
Right.
And let's just not make waves. But I'll be surprised if he even plays in the game. Okay, maybe he will, but I'll be surprised if he
Are
does.
we crazy that we didn't pick, like, Brandon Ayuk at all?
Yes, we're crazy.
That's where I'm like, Ayuk would be the guy that, I feel guilty about. I mean, he was the leading receiver.
He's a second-team All-Pro.
Right. I mean, he is the number one receiver in this football game.
Made that great catch. Made the Lynn Swan catch.
Exactly right. I just, it's hard. I feel guilty about making him number 4, right? But Deebo is such a weapon and such an X factor with some of the creative trick you plays. He's special that way. But Brandon Ayuk, we got to bring him to the conversation. This is a game where you've heard me say throughout the week a little bit, this is an Ayuk game. This would be because I just talked about Deebo against man-to-man, not the best. Ayuk, second-team All-Pro, like you said, but I'm not going to say he's superstar JJ, Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill. It's not that. This, to me, he is his ability, because L'Jarius Sneed is going to be on him, and L'Jarius Sneed is one of the best corners in football, right? Can Ayuk, when they go, hey, we're worried about the run, we're playing man, we're in your face, is Ayuk going to beat L'Jarius Sneed on a consistent basis? I don't think so. But
see, I remember
it only takes a few plays.
I remember he did Tyreek Hill. You better be able to get off the line.
If you can do that to Tyreek Hill, you can usually do that to anybody, right?
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.